Good morning or afternoon or evening, whatever time it is. I just I was on my laptop and I came across a video that was that I took a year ago, like recently around this time, or 2 years ago now, actually, in 2022. And I was just watching myself talk and I was like so inspired by my past self, and I was like, whoa, like I need to get back on. I need to start sharing myself again, sharing my messages again, because it was honestly inspiring, like just to experience that energy that I had at the time and how much I've changed and like I'm continuing to change. So, I'm 24 now, and I feel as if I've just been kind of initiated back into my highest path. I feel like my highest timeline is more within reach than ever before. Like it's happening. And I'm really excited because really I really feel like it can happen for me now, and I'm really excited because when I share the things that I'm going through or the things that I want to share online, I seem to attract like the things that like blessings and beautiful people and like everything that you can think of. So, um, what would I like to talk about first? I don't really know, but I think it'll come to me. um, but yeah, I guess I just wanted to say that like I do feel a little bit nervous coming on here because like sharing myself is not the easiest thing to do, like because I struggle with certain things like perfectionism and other things that I won't mention, but I do have a lot of personal issues that make it hard for me to show up here, and it kind of makes me want to like not be myself fully, and like even though I want to be. But yeah, so I'm here, I'm showing up because I want to, and um yeah, do you like my I hope you like my background. I'm gonna be moving house very soon. But I've got my chakras there, got painting that I did over there, got my fairy wall. Okay. Um so yeah, okay. Let's just take a breather. It's like I've been told to do this by my higher self and my guides. I've been told to like show up, and here I am showing up, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Um, but I'm here, and that's all that matters. Yes, let's talk about self validation. Seeing as I don't even know like how long it's taken me, but in order to like stop being needy on other people and stop being like dependent on other people, I've had to like learn to be to self validate. And like that is a hard thing to do because like sometimes I just really really want someone to give me the validation that I want, that I need, and yet the only way you can really sustain yourself is if you validate yourself. Like you make it so that you don't need to wait on anybody else. It's just you can have it. It's there, like it's for you, and it's by you. It comes from you. So it's like not it's not about like waiting for someone or picking someone to validate you. It's more about like how can I validate myself. So there are a lot of different things that we need validation with for validation. Yeah. And one's coming up for me right now because I'm on camera is my appearance. Like I keep fiddling with myself because I'm not fully accepting of how I look, and like I feel that I'm going through some like identity changes, and I find it really hard sometimes to accept how I look the way I do right now. But it's funny because I've had these insecurities in the past where I've looked back on myself when I was insecure and been like, why was I feeling insecure? I look fine. Like, I look beautiful. I look perfect, the way I am. But in the moment, it's like, oh, like, I just feel icky about, like, I don't know. It's like a mental thing where I'm trying to look perfect and, like, I'm trying to be, like, obsessed with myself. So this is where the self-validation will come in, and where I can say to myself, hey, look, what would a loving mother say? What would a mother who loves me say to me? Or what would my big sister, who I look up to, say to me about this issue? Like, what would they say if I opened up about how I feel in how I look, or my appearance? And I try and think from their point of view, like, what would they say to me right now? Like, what would I need to hear right now? And, like, it could be sound something like, um, you know, it could just be something simple like, I think you're beautiful the way you are. Go out and look around you. Like, people respond well to you. People appreciate you. Like, think back on all the compliments you've ever gotten from other people. If you don't believe in yourself, think about all the compliments that you receive from people. That's proof, that you are beautiful. And even though sometimes that you don't feel beautiful on the inside or on the outside, the beauty that you really want, what you really want to feel, is the beauty on the inside. And that beauty on the inside is always within you. The beauty that you really are is what's always within you. Hang on a minute. So yeah, that's one way you can validate yourself, just giving yourself the kind of information or, like, the comfort that you would want someone else to give you. So there's that. There's also, we also have, what else? I keep feeling like the divine feminine. Yes, so the divine feminine is, the divine feminine energy is kind of like acceptance energy, like self-acceptance energy, like more based around not changing or fixing or striving for anything, but more about accepting things as they are, accepting yourself as you are. And even though that may not be what you like, your desired weight or your desired appearance, it's more about kind of just accepting that you are how you are, and that you look exactly how you're supposed to look. Like, this is your body's expression, this is your soul's expression right now, and, like, that's okay. And I can still feel it. I can still feel the, like, self-judgment, as I'm just, maybe I shouldn't be looking at myself. Maybe I should get a camera instead, so that I'm not, like, fiddling with myself. I just dyed my hair pink yesterday, and I like it. It's brought me a bit of, like, bit more vibes, good vibes. The pink. But yeah, I used to spend a long time being, like, somebody who really, really cares about their appearance. Like, and it was actually to the point of quite toxic, because I have built this version of me in my head of how I'm supposed to look. And if I don't live up to that, I feel like shit. And yeah, this winter has been hard, because I realize, like, every winter I gain a little bit of weight. Like a winter coat, like a protection coat, because wintertime is all about, like, going inwards, and your winter time is your time to reflect and to heal and to like address the things that need to be addressed, so that by the time summer comes around, summertime is like you're like free as a bird. You can just fly and you can just like, mosey about and just have a good time. That's what summer's all about, just enjoying the fruits of your labor. But winter is really about sowing the seeds and really about digging up the stuff that needs to be dug up and like replacing things that need to be replaced and like doing the work. And like that is all what winter's about. And naturally, a lot of us, we want to gain protection from that winter. Like we're afraid of what's going to come up. We're afraid of what's inside us or what we're going to find if we go looking. So we can tend to put on extra weight as a way of protecting ourselves, because fat actually protects cells from like harmful substances in the blood. It protects cells from harmful stuff. So if you think about it, like it protects our organs as well. It protects us. So if you gain weight, that's because it's a protective thing. Like you don't feel safe completely in your body, or you don't feel safe in yourself. And that is completely normal, like to be feeling like you need protection. And so every winter, I don't think it'll always be like this, but for the last few winters, I've gained weight during my winter season. And it's been because I felt like I needed protection. And so trying to come to terms with that has been hard, because like the fear of gaining weight, the fear of being fat, the fear of being not loved because I'm the weight that I am, the fear of being not respected because of how I look or whatever, or the fear of being like ignored or dismissed because of my weight. Fat phobia, like of society, is what's playing through my mind. And naturally I just think of the worst possible outcomes, and it makes it kind of tough to accept like the way that I look. But at the same time, I'm realizing that like my soul is choosing to express like this through me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have issues with that. I wouldn't eat when I feel unsafe. Like there's a reason why I gain weight, and like that's what like my higher self, God, source, my soul wants me to learn about. That is like I'm doing it for protection. It's a spiritual thing. It's not like a mistake. It's everything happens for a reason, including the way our body changes. Like there is a reason for everything like this. And and that is, for me, that's validation to say to myself like, oh, this is happening because I feel unsafe and I feel like I need protection. And so I'm putting on this extra weight as an extra layer to insulate me so that I feel protected during my winter season. And it kind of does work in a way. Like it kind of does make me feel a bit safe, but it makes me feel safe in some ways, but then it also makes me feel like not safe, and it makes me feel like I'm not worthy of love, which is probably one of the biggest lessons in this, is like realizing I'm actually worthy. Even no matter what weight I am, I'm still the same person on the inside, and I'm still deserving of love, and I'm still deserving to take care of my body. I'm still deserving of nourishment. I'm still deserving of fun. I'm still deserving of like treats and special, rewards, and I'm still deserving of respect and love from other people, and I still deserve to take care of myself, nourish myself, feed myself, love myself, take myself out, be seen, be seen in who I am, be seen as I am, no matter what my weight is or how my body looks or how, my face looks. And that's really hard to come to terms with, because I've just believed for so long that I need to be beautiful and perfect if I want to be loved. Like I need this, otherwise I can't love myself, like that was the belief, that is the belief that I feel is shifting this year, which I'm so grateful for that it's shifting this year. because I've done the work, like I've done a lot of work to accept myself as I am, and to accept the weight that I am as I'm gaining it, and like as I look in the mirror, and as I see my, clothes fitting differently, and as I feel my eating habits changing, and yeah, my behaviors around food and thoughts around food changing. Like, it's really hard because I can't control that, and I want to control it because ultimately my ego really wants to be beautiful as possible, holding myself to that standard that I hold myself to when I was 21. When I look back now and I'm like, I wasn't thriving back then, but I felt like I was thriving. I kind of was, but in a different way. But I looked quite beautiful, and I was always being told I was beautiful, and I was always feeling so attractive physically, and but on the inside I was still icky. Like, I was still not really myself. Um, but I hold myself to a standard of a version that I was before. And that's hard because I look at that version of me and I look up to her as if she's better than me. But when really, if you look on the inside, I have grown in ways that that version of me would not even imagine possible, would not even believe is a possibility for her. Like, and I feel like that's better in a way because, yeah, I can be physically beautiful, but on the inside, I was still not a nice person. I was still creating a lot of drama. I was still creating a lot of bad karma. Like, and I wasn't really being true to myself in a lot of ways. I was in a relationship that was really, really toxic, and friendships were toxic. And my relationship with myself was toxic. I was so obsessed with myself and the way I looked that I was honestly conceited. Like, and I don't blame myself, my past self, for her. Like, for her, I don't blame her for that because that was part of my journey. But I needed to go through that to get here. And when I'm in my summertime and I'm back to a beautiful, like, healthy weight, not that this isn't healthy, but when I'm at a weight that I'm more comfortable with, where I can wear what I want and I can feel freer in my body, um, I feel as if when I come back to that, I'm going to be happier because I've accepted where I am now rather than resisting it. Because when you accept the thing that really bothers you and you really don't want to accept, when you do accept it, it just makes it so much easier. Like, you finally kind of learn to let go, and you finally kind of learn to just, like, okay, this is how it is for now. It's not going to be like this forever. It's a season. We are cyclical beings. We're seasonal beings. Things are always changing. That's one thing we can always count on. Your body will always change. Your inside will always change. One thing that always stays the same for me is my heart. But, yeah. Ooh, my camera's doing a little weird thing. Okay. But yeah, as I'm saying, when you can learn to accept where you are at already, it makes it a lot easier when you are in a better place to look back and feel proud. I'm actually proud of myself now for being able to still show up in public because that's how badly, like, I can think about my body and how I look. Like, sometimes I'm still embarrassed to be in public because I don't want people to see me, and like, that's kind of sad because, like, I deserve to be seen anyway. But this is part of my journey, and it's part of probably a lot of people's journey, that maybe you might not look how you want to look. Maybe you might not be, like, blossoming physically in the way that you want to be or you want to be seen as, and like, that's okay. But it's also like, it's maybe it's not about the physical. Maybe it's actually more about the internal stuff. Maybe you're not physically as attractive as you want to be because spirit wants you to look inside instead of the outside. That's kind of what I've learned. Like, it takes the focus off my external body, actually. But it also helps me and pushes me to love myself. Like, despite how I look or despite what my thoughts say about me. Yeah, so yeah, that's something that I'm learning. It's something I'm moving through at the moment. There's a lot of shame, not so much anymore, but it is sometimes when I look in my reflection or in the mirror, and I'm like, oh, it's not how it doesn't match up to the vision of myself that I want, like, which is hard because we all want to love, we all want to look in the mirror and love ourselves the way that we are, and it's hard when you look in the mirror and you don't see something that you love, and that sucks because we all want that. We all want to feel like good in our bodies, and I get that, and I want that more than anything. But I'm getting there, after a lot of years of gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight. I've finally kind of gotten to a point where I'm in my heavier time, or my like bigger time, and or more protected time, and I'm actually okay with it. Like, I'm actually more okay with it than last year. I'm more okay with it than the year before that. And every cycle that comes around is like teaching me more self-love, teaching me more lessons. Like, the lesson that I've learned mostly this time is don't restrict yourself. If I do end up binging, or if I do go overboard with food or whatever, like, my lesson has been like not to restrict any of my meals. Like, make sure that I eat enough every day, like 3 times a day. Like, I'm teaching my body to trust me again. I'm teaching my body that it's okay that if I eat a little bit too much, because the next time I'm still going to get food. Like, this has taught me so much about trusting myself and loving myself even when I fuck up, or even when I think I fucked up, or even when I think I fucked up, because in the back of my mind there's that voice that's like, oh, you need to be this way, like talking about the 20 to 21 year old that I'm like, that I compare myself to, and like that voice in my head wants me to be that version of me, wants me to look like her. And so when if I do binge, or if I do eat something that's like a guilty food or whatever, I don't feel as scared about that anymore. I don't feel scared to fuck up anymore, because I'm here for me. I'm not punishing myself for that anymore. I'm not hating myself for that anymore, and I'm not restricting love from myself. I'm not taking love away from myself because of that as a punishment. Like, I don't punish myself anymore, like, for my eating habits. I don't punish myself for gaining weight, because I know it's not my fault. I can't control it. I watched it happen. Like, if I could control it, I would. Like, I would. And I've tried in the past, and it didn't go well. And that's why, like, this is, for me, is such a big, like, achievement. Being okay with being the weight that I am. Being okay that my face has a little bit of extra, meat, and like my body is a little bit, extra. But that's okay, because if this is what my body needs to feel safe after years of starving myself and binging and starving and binging and that whole cycle, it needs to be able to trust me. And that's why I will continue to feed it. I will continue to nourish it. I will continue to love my body. I will continue to go out in public. I will continue to wear what I want despite what my body looks like, and I will let myself be seen, because I deserve it. No matter what my body looks like, if my body doesn't feel safe, that doesn't mean I need to punish it. If my body is holding extra weight because it feels like it needs to be protected, and that I'm not doing an adequate job of protecting it or making it feel safe, then that's okay. Like, I don't need to be, there's no need for punishment, or like self-degradation, or self-hate, or any of that energy. We don't need that. And when it does come up, it's okay. I'm learning to, that's the hardest part for me, is learning to accept that version of me that is like berating me for gaining weight, that is really wanting to punish me. Like, that version of me is probably the hardest part to love. That part of me that's like trying to enforce that ideal weight or that ideal physical appearance. That version of me that's trying to enforce it, that is hating on me and judging me, criticizing me, trying to punish me, thinking, like, feeding me thoughts of really negative, bad vibes, like self-hating vibes, like destructive energy. Like, that is the hardest to love because it's like so hateful and it's so scared and it's so controlling. Like, it really, really wants me to be the ideal weight, and it's only ever happy. It's never happy, actually, unless I'm like anorexic skinny. It's not happy, and that is a disorder. That is not healthy either, you know. So, but I'm learning that that version of me is born out of fear, like is born out of being afraid to grow up, being afraid of change, being afraid of not having control. That version of me wants control. That version of me wants to be able to control change, which can't be controlled. And so it lives in this perpetual state of fear. And that fear is what drives that behavior, that drives the self hate. It's like someone who's stressed out and just like lashes out on someone. Like, it's not their fault. Like, they're not that person. Like, they're just doing it because they're scared, and like they don't have control because they're scared. So like, same as this part of me that says negative things to me about what I'm eating, that tells me not to eat this or to like restrict because I ate that, or like don't eat too much, or woo woo, like worrying and like stressing and trying to control me. You know, don't go out, don't let them see you, don't show up online because you've gained weight, people will notice. Like, that voice, that self-critical voice is literally just scared, and it's been fueled by fearful negative emotions that come from feeling like a lack of control, feeling not good enough, unworthy, feeling unloved, feeling desperate for love, like as if me being skinny is going to get me love, or me being skinny is going to help make it easier for me to receive love, which could be true only because I believe it, like, to an extent. But in the ultimate idea, in the ultimate reality, in the ultimate all that is, the way things are, the way that everything actually is, the truth is, from God's perspective, that no matter what your body looks like, it doesn't matter if you're a plant or if you're a cat or if you are a horse or whatever. Like, if you are a fat, like if you are an obese person, or if you are the most skinniest, scrawniest looking thing, like, you are worthy of love. Everything in this universe is worthy of love, because everything that was created out of love is worthy of love. It's even the things that aren't created out of love are still worthy of love. Like, the beings that we are inside us, that are held within our bodies, are innately us and are worthy of love. And it's the self-identification with our bodies that we perceive as unlovable. So we perceive we are unlovable because we think of our bodies as unlovable. But that's because society told us that our body is us, and that in order for us to be loved, our body needs to be loved by society. And that is almost impossible. Like, if you look at famous people, if they gain weight, they're like berated. If they lose weight, they're hated on. Like, there is no way to please the masses. There's no way to please society. And so ideally, you know, essentially the best way is to accept that you deserve love no matter what you look like, and treat yourself as such. Show up into relationships that you just like as if you deserve love. Show up as if you were that ideal version of yourself, because, like, you are allowed to be confident even if you don't look how society wants you to look, or even if there's a voice in your head that's telling you you need to look a different way, or trying to compare you to somebody else or to a past version of you. Even if there is that voice, even if there is those doubts, one thing you can do, or the ultimate, I feel like the best thing you can do, is showing up as you are, showing up as your true self, as your confident self, because you deserve love and you realize that. And the best way to realize that is to start to treat yourself as if you are deserving of love. Like I was saying before, like I'm not waiting for my ideal appearance in order to give myself the love that I need to meet my own needs. I'm not waiting to be a certain level on the scale or to look at myself in the mirror and be like, oh my God, you're so fucking beautiful. I don't need to feel like that in order to give myself love. It would be nice, it would make it easier if I looked in the mirror and I was like, you're fucking amazing. Like, I love that feeling. But if I don't feel that way, does that mean that I should not give myself love, that I don't deserve it because I'm not happy with what I see in the mirror? Like, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because the soul underneath and my inner child are still there. They still need nourishing. They still need love. And so I still need to be open to love. It's my job to be receptive to love. It's my job to be believing that, yes, I still deserve love, even if I don't look the way I want to look, or even if I don't love what I see in the mirror. That's okay. Like, your body image, if you have a messed up body image, then if you don't have a perfect body image and you're not able to love yourself the way that you are, that is a journey. Like, that is a journey, and it's if you never had an issue with it, you would never even be here watching this video. But it's such, for people that know, it is such a journey that requires patience. It requires so much love, so much patience, so much self-acceptance, and it's really fucking hard. It's hard, all right? And I still struggle with it. I'm not coming on here acting as if I've overcome this. I haven't. Okay, like, I don't love the way that I look, but I see who I am underneath that, and that's the most important thing. When I look in the mirror, I see my soul for the most part. Sometimes I see flaws, but most of the time, I see what's in the middle, like what's in the middle. I see my soul. I see the light that shines from within me, and that light shines brighter because I allow it to, because I feed it. Even though I don't love how I look, it doesn't mean I don't love myself anymore. I would stop loving myself, or I would stop giving love to myself in the past when I was like overweight or what I would call fat, because I felt like I wasn't worthy of love because of the way I looked. But as if I had a choice in how otherwise I would have changed my mind. I would have done something differently. But it's not my fault, and it's not your fault if you're here. If you feel overweight, or if you feel like you're not the body or the look that you want, you absolutely deserve love, and it's not your fault that if you could change it, you would. Like, so why should you be punished? Why should you punish yourself for something that's not your fault, something that you have absolutely no control over? Like, that's what I'm realizing, and that's what I'm learning, and I'm starting to have more compassion for myself even right now, because I'm feeling how relieving it is to realize how deserving I still am of love. I'm the same amount worthy as the version of me that I am trying to be, if that makes sense, or that I want to be to feel most confident in my body and in my physical appearance. That version of me, she deserves love, absolutely. But I deserve love as I am now, right now. Like, even if I was 100 kilos overweight, or even if, my face was fucked up, like, I still deserve love. Like, we all deserve love. And it doesn't matter what weight you are, it doesn't matter what version of yourself you are, it doesn't matter if you think you're the worst person in the world, you still deserve love, because self-punishment is the way that we block ourselves off from love. We block ourselves off from receiving love, and we don't give ourselves the love that we need, which then perpetuates the ugliness that we feel inside. We feel even more unworthy. We feel even more like guilty and ashamed of ourselves, and it's so sad. It's so sad that we cut ourselves off from love because we think we're not worth it, because or that we think that we can't actually accept it because we don't think we're good enough. Like, that's really fucking sad. But it's good because when you overcome this, when you do realize this, you can start to have compassion for yourself. And that is the most beautiful thing, being able to accept yourself no matter what you weigh, no matter what you look like. That is unconditional love. And I've never felt this for myself before. I've never really given myself this unconditional love before. And it's such a new thing, and I'm probably one of the first in my family to actually be doing this work, and that's really powerful stuff. And if you are on this journey, I commend you for even just being open to it, like for even just trying to love yourself even when it's so fucking hard, when everything in your brain is telling you like that you don't deserve it. Like, you fucking do. Let me just tell you right now, if you need to hear it from the outside, if you need some external validation because internal validation isn't working, you do deserve love. And the best way for you to move forward through this energy is to do loving acts for yourself. Like, so whatever your love language is, or multiple love language, whatever your favorite way, actually just get creative. Do all of the love languages. Like, give yourself love, like in all the ways. Like, just do, like, for me, I like to like give myself like a nice warm shower, and like use my soap and like rub it on my body, and I'm like, oh, like I really just get into it, and like I'm just like really like femininely kind of taking care of my body, and I'm like, oh, you deserve it, like you're beautiful, like you deserve this energy. And or I'll make myself a really nice healthy meal, and I'll do these loving acts for myself. Like, I'll wear this outfit because I really like how I feel wearing it. Or I'll like learn a new dance and then like give myself compliments on my dancing, or like something like that. It doesn't even have to be like that. It can be any form of self-love that you can think of, any form of loving action, something that makes you feel loved, makes you feel like you matter. That is what self-love is essentially. um, so yeah, I recommend just doing more of that. Like, just never stop yourself because you feel unworthy. Never stop yourself from loving yourself and doing loving acts towards yourself just because you feel unworthy. Because you are worthy. Even if you don't feel it, you still are. And the action is going to overcome the feeling. The action is going to overpower the feeling. Because eventually, over time, it may not feel like it at the start, but eventually, over time, when you start to do more loving acts for yourself, you start to teach yourself and wire your kind of brain and your inner being and your inner child to see that it does, like, I do deserve love unconditionally. It doesn't matter what I do, doesn't matter what I look like, doesn't matter even what habits I have or whatever. There is nothing that makes me unworthy of love. Nothing I can do that makes me unworthy of love, that makes me undeserving of love. There is nothing. Once you start to believe that, even if it's just planting the seed by these little acts over time grow the seed into this beautiful tree, and it's a strong tree. So that means that even if you lost all of your hair, even if the worst outcome happened to your appearance, you would still feel worthy of love. And then it'll kind of grow even to other areas of your life. When you start this practice of realizing, it doesn't matter what my body looks like, I'm still going to give myself love, and I'm still going to allow myself the opportunities that I would have, that I would allow myself, that I would want and ask for if I was skinny or if I was more attractive. You start to realize that this mindset can actually move out into other areas of your personality as well. Like, that is just, I won't go really into that because this is already enough in the video, but it will start to emanate into other areas of your life. Unconditional love will start to grow through other areas of your life because you start to apply the same mindset of, oh, I did this, but I'm still worthy of love. Or this isn't how I want it to be, or I'm not how I want to be in this area of my life, but I'm still worthy of love. Like, it starts to be this different reality of like, oh, like, it doesn't matter what I do. Love is unconditional, and my love for myself is unconditional. I will always be there for me. I will always be there to pick myself up And that is a beautiful thing. That I will always be, I will always treat myself, I will always be open to love, I will always ask for the opportunities and receive them, because I deserve love no matter what I do, no matter what I say, no matter what behaviors I think need to change, or no matter how I need to think I need to be fixed, or no matter what issues that I'm going through at whatever time in my life. It doesn't matter, because I'm worthy of love and I will always love myself. I will always be there for myself. That is unconditional love. And if you've never had that before, it is like really hard to like imagine, but I'm learning this in myself, and I'm so happy that I'm sharing this with someone, because it's it is a journey, and it is to come from a really tough background, especially with family who don't understand this concept of unconditional love. It is such a beautiful thing to actually grow from within you without someone else influencing it. Like, you don't need to wait for some guy to come into your life, or some girl to come into your life and love you the way that you want, that you really need to be loved. Like, you actually start to love yourself in those ways, and that opens you up to so much, like, possibilities, opportunities, new ways of living, new ways of thinking, new ways of being. Like, you're loving yourself into evolution. You're loving yourself into evolution instead of punishing yourself into change, because that doesn't get you anywhere. Punishment is not the way to go. And punishment, any form of self punishment, is like, I can't do this because of that, or I can't do this because I did that. Like, that's not how we do that. That's not how we love ourselves. You know, how we love ourselves is unconditionally loving ourselves, showing up time and time again, proving and really, really focusing on reinforcing that belief of, it doesn't matter what I do, I will always be loved. Because that is how you grow. Having that safety, that space of, I can do whatever I want and I will never not be loved. Or like, I can make as many mistakes as I need to make to learn this lesson, and I will still be loved along the whole process. Love is like a buffer in that way. Love is like being able to offer yourself that love. Mate, like, you have got it fucking made. Like, so many, like, that is such an achievement, and it is constantly growing, and you just got to constantly work on it. Like, even if it's just once a day, like one act that you don't feel worthy of, you know, I mean, maybe not one act a day, like, but over time, just allow it to happen, and allow your love for yourself to grow. And that just means not shutting off from love or loving actions from yourself. So yes, I think that that's what I want to share, and I'm gonna get off now and give you some time to think about that, and yeah, maybe write about it or sing about it, or go and look in the mirror, give yourself some praise or something. I mean, one thing I could say as a bit of advice, is when you're looking in the mirror, look for beyond your body. Look at who you are, you know. See that there's more to you than your body. Like, when you see this, the real you, and you can love yourself for the real you, your body just doesn't seem as important. Like, your body, like, obviously your body's important. Your body image doesn't seem as important, because when you look at yourself and you see your soul, like I do when I see my pink hair, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like the soul contained within this body is good enough. And then I treat myself as if I'm good enough. I allow myself opportunities. I open up to things. I ask for things. I go out. I let myself be seen. I let myself wear what I want. I give love to myself. I eat enough to sustain me, to sustain my energy, to sustain my mental appetite. Like, I am there for myself, and I love myself, and I give myself that love. And it's super, super beautiful to find that within yourself. So I wish you luck, and if you're on this journey, then you're already on your way. So this is the most easy, not easiest, this is the most, one of the most powerful ways to understand self-love from a personal perspective. This is how you learn about self-love. This is how you learn about unconditional love, sorry. Self-love and unconditional love, both. But this is how you learn unconditional love, is when everyone in society tells you you can't be loved, you can't love yourself, you're not worthy unless you look like this. But then you're like, actually, I am worthy and I am going to give myself love and I am good enough just as I am. I can show up how I want. I can show up as this person, even if I don't like it, and still get love from myself and from the world. Because what you are open to, you can receive. And the more open you are to love, unconditional love from the universe and blessings, the more blessings you receive, the more opportunities, the more people that you receive, like loving people. And the vibration of that comes from you giving yourself that love time and time again, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. So take yourself on that walk, or, you know, buy yourself something nice, buy yourself that outfit, or, you know, make yourself that meal, or like satisfy that craving that you want, like whatever it is, you know, go for that date, like whatever. You deserve it. You deserve it, because the person underneath your body is just as important when it's inside a bigger body or a smaller body or a more attractive body or a less attractive body. I think we all deserve love. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I don't know when my next video will be, but I wanted to just share this and I hope that it helps somebody. And yeah, thank you. Good luck.